this week's episode of Let's Chat with Curry and Adrian. I'm Curry Terrell. With me, as always, Adrian McMillan.
My wonderful co-host.
With me, as always, my wonderful co-host.
There's a script. You got to stick to it.
There is no script. We're unscripted.
We are unscripted. I'm here, though.
How are you doing?
You guys have a lot of snacks.
Okay.
And I want to eat them all.
It's really Alana. None of this mess is mine.
It looks delicious.
What are even these? Cookies. Almond butter. Dark chocolate chunk with almond butter.
Yum. What did you ask?
Hey, how's life?
I'm fresh from Rhode Island.
We were off last week. It was Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
And you went to Rhode Island.
I was there for a wedding, and it was a blast.
What was the best thing you ate while you were there?
The best thing I ate while I was there was probably the dessert at the wedding. The wedding cake was delicious. The Oreo profiteroles were delicious. The cheese
profiterole?
It's like almost like a bonbon choux pastry with cream in the middle. You know choux pastry?
Yes.
I've
watched Great British Bake Off.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But there's another word that I'm thinking of that is not. I can't know. There's like a different term for that, like the French version of that.
Like a cream puff almost?
Exactly.
That's not the French term, but...
No. Like a croquembouche.
Yeah. Croquembouche.
So it was, yeah, that was very delicious. The steak was honestly great. I had tomato soup that was really good. You know, I told my mom yesterday, it's June 1st. No soups, no stews, no hot liquid until October.
Yeah.
So honestly, like even the soup was pushing it at the wedding, but I ate it. It was good.
Yeah, because a lot of like dinners, you have like a salad, a soup.
Yeah. No salad. That was surprising, actually.
Okay.
But it was great. It was a great wedding. Got to see a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time.
You look nice in your suit.
Thank you. Yeah, it was great.
What were you going to say?
I was just saying, I don't know that I needed to get that suit.
But you look so nice.
I know.
You will use it again, you especially.
Yeah, of course.
Adrian is booked and busy.
Well, we have another wedding in November that we're going to.
Yeah.
In Palm Springs. And that's it. I don't think I have any more weddings. But then in February of next year is Ben's wedding.
That's what I'm saying. And then it's just the beginning of the year. Who knows?
Don't invite me to any more weddings.
Don't say that.
For at least 12 months.
Okay, so do not get married between now and May of 2025.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm just kidding. It was fun. I had so much fun. The weather was perfect. It was. I would have done maybe 4 days.
Yeah.
Really, I was there for a day.
Yeah, because you were doing stuff. You were like doing wedding stuff.
Yeah, and we didn't get into Rhode Island until like 7.
Yeah.
Wedding was the next day, and then we left at like 11 the next day.
Yeah.
So it was a quick turnaround.
Wow.
What did you do while I was gone?
I was sad.
You hung out with my mother.
I hung out with your mother and Patrick. We went and got sushi. We went to IKEA. We went to the Home Depot.
You saw Nick at IKEA.
I saw Nick at IKEA. That was so wild and random and fun.
Yeah.
It still shocks me I've run into people in the world.
It does not happen to me very frequently.
It's the best feeling.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hillsborough, you turn the corner, you see somebody you know.
Yeah.
It's weird when you go somewhere you don't see somebody you know.
Right.
But here, I literally can count on one hand how many times I've had like run-ins with people.
No, me too.
Yeah. I heard Curry. I was like, yes.
He didn't go, Annette?
I wish he had. Nick, if you're listening, next time go up to Annette first. That'd be even funnier. We've done a lot.
We do have a lot to talk about.
First of all, before we get into the movies, we saw Avril Lavigne on Thursday, which was so fun.
It was fun.
The greatest hits tour, so she sang the hits.
Yeah.
She did not sing Keep Holding On from Aragon.
No.
Which was an oversight, I thought.
I think so, too, now in retrospect. I'm thinking about it.
She has the stage presence of...
A bug.
A bug. Yeah, she literally just sort of stood there and swayed. But she sounded good. Everybody was singing. You like that when you go to concerts and everybody's singing along?
Love it.
Yeah.
But again, I only knew like 4 songs. Even though it was the hits, I only knew like 5 songs. Maybe 5 max.
Do you know that song When You're Gone? When you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was listening to the words that she was singing, I was like, this is a really sad song.
Yeah.
But you're not thinking about it when you're singing it in the car.
No, of course not.
But yeah. She has like anthems.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. It was cool.
It was a great time.
An ultimate test in the car on the way home, we were talking about what concerts we can go to. To me, that's a sign of a good concert. Because we're like, this was fun. When can we do it again?
Yeah.
You know, instead of like, that was hot. I want to be in the bed.
That's a great point. We did not talk about that after Madonna.
No. After Madonna, we were like, turn on the air as high as it goes. Yeah. I was dripping after Madonna.
Yeah.
And not in a fun way. Like nasty.
Yeah.
What else do we do? We saw a bunch of screenings.
4K world premiere of Amadeus.
Last night at the Academy Museum, which was so fun.
Loved it.
I saw First Wives Club and Kissing Jessica Stein last week.
Also at the Academy Museum.
Also at the Academy Museum.
They need to sponsor us.
That is, I think, our path. But
I'm going to email that woman.
To? Okay, yeah.
That I complained about the air conditioning to.
Again, they don't have the air on at the Academy Museum. So when we are sponsored by them, we want to have our voices heard also.
They do have a podcast, though.
Okay, well, that doesn't mean they can't sponsor another podcast.
So what would we say? Today's episode is brought to you by the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences.
Yes, I'm telling you, the Kelly Clarkson official fan podcast, Miss End Podcast, is sponsored by Swiss Army Knife.
Okay, yes. That's insane.
The Swiss Army Knife. I cackle every time.
I'm literally just going to make a list of like every random thing I have in my house. And
Dole
reach out.
bananas.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fine. Also, wait, I have two pop culture questions for you before we get into things. Number one, what movie has broken through the culture on Netflix? What movie has permeated the culture that was a Netflix original film?
Marriage Story.
Yeah.
Solely because of the memes that came from it.
Yep.
To this day, there are memes of him crying and screaming.
And her crying.
Her crying and screaming. And then also her dancing.
Yep.
Is like a very big reaction gif online. So I think that is the first one that comes to my mind.
Okay.
Would you have thought of that?
The only one that I can think of is Bird Box.
Yeah.
Everybody watched that, I feel like.
I didn't.
But, you know, I mean, a lot of people were talking about that movie after it happened.
I wasn't.
Okay, did you hear me? A lot of people. I didn't say we were talking about it.
I'm just kidding. No, I can see that.
But all these, like Jennifer Lopez, that movie was like allegedly one of the most watched things ever in the history of Netflix. I saw not a person. Every time they do that, I think, who is, like, we're both pretty online. Who is watching these movies that we just don't hear them speak of it?
Not even hate watching it.
No, like nothing. There's no, it's like it. I understand why the actors do it because they get paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
I understand why Netflix does it because it draws a lot of attention to their streaming service. And they'll have A-list actors going and promoting Netflix. On talk shows and red carpets and stuff. But yeah, I just wonder, like, what is these movies? They just like go into the void.
I think those numbers are made up.
You think?
A lot of it.
Yeah. I really didn't. I think Marshall and Tessa watched it. I might be even making that up.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I feel like, it just is. It's weird. I kept seeing all the things about it, and I was like, who watches these movies? Like that movie with Chris Evans. Who and Ana de Armas? Remember who watched that?
Nobody. That was on Apple TV though.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Where did that go?
Right.
It's like Palm Royale. Me and Alana are watching it. I look it up. Like 5 people are tweeting about it. Doesn't mean it's not good. It just is like
right. It hasn't entered the zeitgeist.
Yeah. What's the? Because like you think like they're capable of it. Look at Bridgerton or Stranger Things or those types of things.
Right.
Okay. The first thing we're going to talk about that we saw together, Furiosa, which is a Fury Road story. Isn't that
saga?
Fury Road Saga. Starring Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth. It is the follow-up to Mad Max Fury Road from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It is about, if you haven't seen Mad Max, it's like this dystopian world where they're living in a desert and they're all fighting. It's like car fighting and over gas. Like there's 3 different worlds: gas, bullets, and water, and like vegetation. But the course of the action is them basically like fighting on the path between those different lands. This one is the follow-up with Furiosa. Exactly. It's a prequel that explains Charlize Theron's character from the first film.
Right. I think we doomed ourselves by watching Mad Max Fury Road 2 days before Furiosa.
That movie is literally like nonstop, like boom, boom, boom.
One of the best, certainly of the 21st century.
Yeah.
One of the best action movies ever made.
Yeah.
This movie did not live up to that. And I know you obviously have to go into it thinking, okay, I'm not going to get beat by beat action, or there's no formula to replicate what occurred there with Fury Road.
Yeah.
But something fell very flat. I don't know if it was because there was like not a lot of music. Something just felt dull about the whole thing. And I remember looking at Patrick and I was like, this is so boring.
It was boring. It was about 45 minutes too long.
Agreed.
I kept trying to be like, am I mad or like, am I disappointed because there's more narrative to this one than there was to the previous one? But I don't even think that was it. Because I enjoyed some of the narrative stuff. Her and that guy that was like her mentor.
Yeah.
I liked that stuff.
Yeah.
But it was boring.
It was really boring.
And it didn't have the same like action that the first one did.
No.
And I'm not even that big of like an action junkie, but that was what was fun about the first one. It was so in your face and like
yeah.
I
was thoroughly disappointed.
Yeah,
because also the trailer was so good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Also, a lot of the amazing moments of cinematography were in the trailer. You know, all those like moments where she was coming up, shaking her head out of the dust. All those, we'd seen all those already.
I cannot imagine revisiting this movie ever again.
Chris Hemsworth, though, I thought he was great.
He's good.
He was a good villain.
I couldn't even tell you what happened to his character. I don't remember.
Well, remember, they sort of like leave it a little bit open-ended, like there's a lore to it and these things could have happened. And then the tree is...
Ah, yes. I've erased the whole movie from my head.
Yeah. And I thought Anya Taylor-Joy did a good job for what it was.
You cannot deny that she's great.
Oh, my gosh. She's just interesting to watch exist.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
Yeah. It was really disappointing. You're right.
Yeah. I'm I don't want to say it was. I'm glad I went and saw it in a theater, but I don't ever need to see it again.
What's the road forward with this world of movies?
I think that's it. I think this movie flopped, and I think that is the nail in the coffin.
If
sadly,
it was a huge hit, what do you think they would have made another one?
Yeah,
and it would have continued the story of Charlize and
no,
Homeboy?
I could have seen it maybe being a trilogy in the same world, and then maybe go on from there. But I don't think I think that's it.
Yeah,
personally.
Bye.
Yeah.
But sad. Fury Road, iconic.
If you have not seen that movie, watch it.
If you haven't seen Amadeus, watch it. 2 things we're recommending. We're about to recommend the third. The other movie like we saw last week before you left. Actually, when did you get back?
Monday.
Doesn't matter. We've seen together Babes, starring Alana Glazer, Michelle Buteau. It is a movie about pregnancy.
Plain and simple.
Different stages of pregnancy. 2 different women that are best friends going through
their own pregnancies.
Exactly. Childbirth together. The quote in the trailer that said, "This is the bridesmaids of motherhood," was perfect. That's exactly what it is.
I completely agree.
It was a 5-star film. Hysterical.
Howling laughing.
But really sad, really heartfelt.
It follows a very similar formula to Bridesmaids.
Yes.
And I think rightfully so.
Yeah.
Because that formula fits so perfectly in a scenario like these 2 are going through. And it's just, I think it has something for everyone.
Yes.
We are obviously not pregnant people.
No. I feel like it. Sometimes.
So appreciated what we were watching.
Yeah.
Because it's so simple, so heartfelt,
yes,
and really, really funny.
Now, you watched Broad City.
A little bit.
And did you love it?
I do love moments of it. I didn't watch like season by season, episode by episode, but I've watched clips and it really does make me laugh.
Yeah. I don't feel any type of connection to her.
No, me either.
But she wrote it or co-wrote it, and it was literally such a showcase of her.
Of course.
The perfect level of, she's a little silly.
Yeah.
So it's like the perfect level of silly, but then she really knows how to like pull you in when she needs you to be like...
Yeah.
Tugging at your heartstrings.
For sure.
Michelle was her counterpart in the movie. So funny. And again, the writing. Like, I had to think they wrote this with her in mind.
Yeah, of course.
Because it was just, she's a very specific type of comedian, too.
Right.
And I just think of The Circle. Every time I hear her voice,
she's the voice of that?
She's the voice of The Circle.
No way.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and she's funny. She says little quips on there. But yeah, she was. I thought she was the standout of the movie.
So my question to you, Bridesmaids was an awards darling.
Yes.
Will this follow that same path? I think no.
Well, here's the issue. Nope. It only came out in like 7 theaters the first week. It went to 500 the second week, and next weekend it's supposed to expand again. It has made money every week. It's done like really well every week, but I just don't know that I have seen not a single billboard for it.
Right.
And so I just think, do people know this movie exists?
Right.
And nowadays, do we let movies exist long enough to know they are out in like building? Like, think of like Paranormal Activity. Not that these are similar, but Paranormal Activity started in like 5 theaters, and then the next weekend it was like 20, and the next weekend, and then like 3 months later it was in wide release, so it had this like cult kind of thing.
It grew its legs.
Now, they don't do that with movies. Like Problemista, it was in wide release for 1 week before it was on streaming. It's like, okay.
You don't give it time to breathe.
Yeah, you got to give it time to breathe, especially with social media. That's why, like, what was the one with Sydney Sweeney? Anyone But You? They let it just exist for months because there was nothing really in that same path.
Right.
So people went.
Wow.
You know?
I hope that it would somehow make its way to the larger awards.
Yeah.
Season shows, but...
Maybe Golden Globe.
Yeah. But I mean, if it hits Golden Globe, then maybe it would hit the Oscars.
Yeah.
And I could so easily see it being there.
Oh my God, yes. But laugh out loud, funny.
Oh my God. Hilarious. I almost peed my pants.
Yeah, we really were cackling.
Yeah.
Also, again, it not coming out in time for Mother's Day seems like a miss. But who am I to say?
They need to consult with us.
They need to ask us.
Yeah.
The last movie we're going to talk about, speaking of streaming films, is Hitman, starring Glenn Powell, Adria how do you say her last name?
I don't know.
I think it's Adria Arjona. Yeah, Adria Arjona, I think is right. And Retta from Parks and Rec, who we love. It is about a man who's a teacher that moonlights as like a police undercover. He helps with like the audio for like undercover
sting operations.
Exactly. And somebody gets fired, so he all of a sudden is the like main undercover cop going to meet with people who have hired a hitman.
Right.
That's the A plot. The B plot, one of the people that he meets to set up like a sting with, he falls in love with. And they go through this whole thing.
What a dumb movie.
It's had some like festival appearances and had amazing reviews. 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of people are saying he's going to be part of the awards conversation next year. He co-wrote it with Richard Linklater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really we've been talking a lot today about going into movies with high or low expectations.
Right.
97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's like, oh, how could it be bad?
Even if it's not like the best movie ever made, it's gonna be, there's gonna be good stuff.
Right.
There wasn't.
But I wonder if we're in the minority. Well, obviously we are. But at the end of the movie, everybody clapped.
People clapped.
And not people. Everybody clapped.
I clapped.
You did? No, you didn't.
Just because everybody else was clapping.
I booed.
okay, here's what halfway through the movie, the last like 30 minutes were like pushing a car off a cliff. Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like to me. It was like, oh, this is okay. But then I was like, I don't love it, but it's like okay. Mm. But then like when they wrapped it up and I saw how they were going to wrap it up, I was like, oh, this is terrible. This is like actually really bad.
Right.
Halfway through the movie, I was thinking, this is his miscongeniality.
Okay.
Where it's like, I mean, it starts with the same pieces. He's, in quotes, normal looking at the beginning. He has swooped hair and glasses, even though he's Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
But like, and then he gets made over. Yeah. He looks like a movie star.
True.
And he's doing this like undercover thing, and all the supporting characters are funny.
That is totally correct.
And I was like, oh, this is miscongenial. And he's in wigs, and like it's a lot of like slapsticky kind of stuff. The problem was miscongeniality was good.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't really funny, and it was a comedy.
Right. I think I laughed like 3 times.
Yeah, there were some good lines, and also it didn't hurt that Retta is so funny and likable, and Glenn Powell is super likable,
of course,
and funny.
We love him.
I think Twisters is the right path for him.
Yeah, it's weird because this movie is so in between Anyone But You and Twisters. It's like kind of romantic comedy with like an action-y element to it, kind of.
Yeah.
Not really, but it is kind of a weird hybrid of them in my mind.
Yeah.
Maybe more Anyone But You than Twisters, but...
Yeah, he is a movie star.
Right.
Like, there is no denying. He has that old school kind of charm. He's doing very much those typical types of movies. Mm-hmm. And he's charming. You know
Patrick just texted me and said, either a human being or a dog just took a shit on the floor. I had to leave.
Where is he?
I think Target.
Well, hopefully a dog.
Fitting for the conversation we're having. Human shit is this movie.
But yeah, it was just nothing. That's what I felt at the end. Yes. This was literally nothing.
I told you when we left, I said this was a waste of $15.
I liked seeing it.
Not me.
We got to be together.
Great. I hate that movie theater.
No.
The Egyptian theater, I don't ever need to see. Yes. Unless Ina Garden is going to be there, I'm not going.
But the Netflix movies for award season, that's the only place they're going to play.
I don't care. I'll watch them at my house. My TV screen is about as big as the one in that theater.
You're right. The sound in there. So this is Netflix bought the Egyptian theater, and they like. Jared was saying the other day, and he's totally right. When you used to go see movies there before, there were no sound issues.
Right.
So when they redid it, they have speakers up at the. It's like going to a theater in a small town where they have 2 screens, and it's like in a cement building. That's what the sound sounds like.
Exactly. That's the thing. There's no absorption. It's just echoing off the room, and and at some points you can't understand what people are saying.
Correct. And Maestro, where there was a huge score underneath it, it was like it needed subtitles.
Yeah. Maybe I need to email them too.
Definitely, we need to be learning. Now, again, we're in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
People are going to those types of things because they're interested in film.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I'm curious if other people have talked about that online.
I don't know.
I'm big on Reddit.
Yeah, I was about to say find it on Reddit.
I'm going to find it on Reddit.
On Reddit, do you go in and search like Egyptian sound?
You can just Google it, and it'll link to people in Reddit who have talked about it. You know what I mean? I'm just promoting the Academy Museum movies on Reddit. I'm doing that for free.
Yeah.
I'm literally filling up their movie theaters for free.
I love it. Amadeus sold out.
That wasn't because of me, though.
Jawbreaker sold out.
Yeah. Godzilla sold out. That was because of me.
Beyonce Homecoming sold out.
Yeah.
Wow. Adrian doing the Lord's work.
I'm an influencer.
I'm influenced right now. Anything else you want to say about The Hitman?
I mean, it'll be on Netflix in 2 weeks or this week.
Yeah.
I guess watch it. I mean, here's the thing. If you love Glenn Powell, if you love kind of like corny, silly movies, you'll probably love it.
Rom-com kind of action movies.
Yeah. It didn't resonate with me in the way that I thought it would.
No. Also, just the idea that it's an awards movie, I think really threw me off.
Of course.
I see it at awards, the Teen Choice Awards.
Right.
That's the end of
Can
the
you imagine
road.
being nominated for Best Picture?
Or like Best Actor?
Yeah.
Next, like Daniel Day-Lewis? Yeah, I don't think so.
We'll be protesting.
I have one thing I have to say. If you have a movie that has a budget over $12, I don't want to see a Photoshop photo that looks like I took it. The mug shots that were the through line, you have the actors on set. Take a picture of them on the set and use it. Put them in whatever they were in their clothes that they were in the scene, and they were in front of like a screensaver background of whatever that like police sheet is that has like the heights. Yeah. It looked like. I mean, it looked like a cartoon. Yeah, it was bad. This is a real movie that people like has a multi-million-dollar budget with movie stars.
It almost looked like the cutaways Arrested Development used to do. You know what I mean? Like when it was on TV, not on Netflix. Yeah, bad.
Really pathetic. Real, and I will say for Babes, have you seen the poster? Yeah. I mean, that looks like one of those movies that in the bin. Yeah. Like in the $5 bin.
I know.
What are they doing? You have the actors on set. Take pictures of them. I don't get it. I don't get it. Chris Bartolucci.
I know, literally. He's a
talk
photographer.
To these people. I know. I'd be like, your posters look like garbage.
It's true.
Hire her. Okay. I really need to message her about General Hospital.
What about it?
The poster for General Hospital, it has all her shots in the background. Yeah. And the people on the poster, I was like, she's working with icons.
Well, I was going to say, do you watch General Hospital?
Okay, so when I was growing up, ABC, in the afternoon, it was General Hospital and Oprah. Mm-hmm. So we would watch, I would be in like 4th grade watching Oprah and General Hospital. And some of the people are still on there.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, she is their photographer, basically.
Gave me chills. I have to ask her about it. Yeah. I need the gossip.
Yeah. Maybe she'll leave a voicemail for us about it.
Oh.
Chris, you might be listening to this.
Please. Okay. Now that's a great segue into our question.
Which we do have. It's not a voicemail, though.
It's not a voicemail. If you would like to leave us a question, you can reach us at 919-675-2428, which is 919-675-CHAT. You can text us. You can call and leave a voicemail. You can also reach out on our socials.
I do love this question because I think it's an interesting perspective that we haven't really talked a ton about. Okay. It's from Joe.
Okay. Hey, Joe.
Have you guys listened to Kate Hudson's new album? I want to hear your thoughts about this new trajectory for her. I'm kind of into it. That's it.
Okay.
I have not listened to her album, but I listened to her perform on The Howard Stern Show. She was a guest. And she sounded really good. The song, I'm not necessarily going to be bumping them in my car, but for her, as someone who I'm not accustomed to listening to sing at all, I thought it was good. What about you?
I think she has a lovely voice.
Yeah.
I mean, she was in 9 and sang Cinema Italiano.
Cinema Italiano.
Iconic film.
It's really good.
What does Fergie sing?
I don't remember. The slow one, kind of.
I'm going to hurt myself. How do I not remember what this is? Anyway, so she's in 9. She sings. So her singing, I guess, isn't that far out of the realm of possibility. But, like, I just think, who does it serve? It's like true. Rita Wilson.
Well, this is my next thing into thinking about other actors who have either, started out as singers and now are actors, or actors who are starting as singers. What is your thought of that? Because I go to like that guy from 13 Reasons Why, Dylan Mignette, who has that band as well.
Oh yeah.
Or Rita Wilson.
Yeah.
She seems like a festival, like a jazz festival level performer to me.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of what Kate is doing.
Oh, really?
I mean, isn't it like hippy dippy kind of music?
It's like rock.
Yeah, but like, okay. I haven't listened to a ton of it. I just heard the clips.
Yeah.
But every clip I've listened to, she sounds great.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. She just wants to do it.
Right.
She said like she's always wanted to do it, and now she wants to do it. She's rich, and she's well-liked. Go for it. Exactly. Go off. You know what I mean? She's not hurting nobody.
No.
And if you love it,
great.
And the vinyl are so pretty.
Oh, she has vinyl records
too?
So everybody does a vinyl record now.
Well, that's like now. Instead, people do CDs, but like mostly if they put any thought into something, it's the vinyl.
So you're going to buy Kate's vinyl?
Absolutely not. But it is pretty. It's like Jennifer Lopez. Her vinyl is so pretty. I almost bought it, but I was like, I don't really like the album. So like, am I going to listen to it?
How many albums do you have, vinyls?
A lot.
1,000?
Not, but
900. Sitting in this apartment right now.
Yeah.
Are they insured?
I have renter's insurance. Yeah. That's your
Who's
fault.
your renter's insurance?
I don't remember.
Lemonade?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll sponsor us.
That's a good idea. I'll reach out.
Love that.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about Kate Hudson?
No.
I miss the movies, though.
Yeah.
Bring back... Wouldn't you love a rom-com with Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey?
They'll never do that.
Why do you not think?
The time has passed for them in those specific types of roles.
That's very ageist.
I just don't see them doing that.
Did you see Ticket to Paradise?
No.
It's not for you.
No.
I loved it. Okay. Thank you so much for your question. If you have a question, again, you can call us or text us at 919-675-CHAT, which is 919-675-2428. Now it is time for our songs of the week. Before we get into that, anything you want to say about the Apple 100 Greatest Albums of All Time?
Some glaring omissions.
Any that like really hurt you? I know it's like interesting with music with you. Like, you know how like Kelly is obviously for me, Lana is for Patrick. You don't have necessarily somebody that you're like pouring your soul into.
Right.
So in these situations, I'm always like, does it hurt him? Like when I see things like this and that people I love are left off, it hurts my feelings. Does it hurt you in that way?
Well, I don't know actually when I'm thinking of it that way.
Is there any album that you like love that you're like, I wish that had been on there?
Like the Celeste and Jesse Forever soundtrack.
Oh yeah, there were. I mean, the Bodyguard soundtrack.
Right.
There were soundtracks was definitely an omission.
I think that's maybe where I'm feeling hurt a little bit. But that's not serious.
Yeah. You think Lauryn Hill's the greatest album of all time?
One of.
Yeah, that didn't really bug me.
One of.
Yeah.
Maybe I have more of an issue with like the organization of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Fleetwood Mac is better than like Kendrick Lamar. You know?
Yeah.
In terms of just influence on music as a whole.
Even Amy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
she was very high up, I thought.
Which of the Beyonce ones was in the
Lemonade.
top? That I kind of disagree with.
And Self-Titled was pretty high up too. And, you know, I'm going to say B-Day is her best album.
Right.
That should have been number one.
So those are all just subjective, though. But do I agree that Lemonade is one of the best albums of all time? No.
Yeah. Do you think 1989 is like the 19th greatest album of all time?
No.
I mean, it's like, how can you even say
Was
that?
Melodrama on there by Lorde?
I can't recall.
If it wasn't, that's the biggest issue to me.
The one that hurt me the most that I think is just absolutely shocking, Come On Over by Shania Twain.
Oh, sure.
Probably the greatest country album of all time.
It smells like barbecue.
Yeah, something's definitely on fire.
Help out the apartment because
No.
we're going to have to grab a lot of DVDs and a lot of vinyls.
There's only a couple I need to grab. Everything else I can replace.
Okay, great.
My green wrapped in red vinyl that only printed 500 copies. I will never be able to get it again. I have to take it.
Okay, great. I do have a song of the week. Are you ready?
Yes.
Anyways, I Love You by Wild Rivers.
How can you stand how it's shaking out when you're miles away, other side of the couch? Two stubborn flames in a paper house. You know just what to say that'll get to me now. Sometimes it feels like we're just down and done. We go too far when we should bite our tongue. Let's not just lose it all on something dumb. I've been here long enough to say that I love you anyways. I love you anyways. I love you.
It's so good.
It's fantastic.
Remember Us, the duo?
Yeah.
What happened to them?
I don't know.
Are they still married?
I don't know.
Were they married then?
I don't know.
They felt like it. This is a good song. I love a harmony.
What's your song of the week?
My song of the week is My Days by Joy Woods from The Notebook, the musical.
Where am I? Where am I going? Is it somewhere that I want to go? And when I get there, is that where happy is? Or is it somewhere I already know? Sometimes I feel like I cry without a noise. Sometimes I feel like somebody chose my choice. that I spent my days.
Obsessed.
Am I going to be able to find that on YouTube?
Yes, it's on. The album's out in the world.
Okay.
You're so mean to me. It's so good. I'm really ready to see some theater.
You want to come to Peter Pan?
No. What am I seeing? Oh, I want to see Jawbreaker. I can't.
Oh, right.
But Peter Pan is so fun. They fly.
Yeah, I'm excited.
The Notebook. Do you love the movie The Notebook?
I haven't seen it as an adult, so I have no opinion.
Do you love Ingrid Michaelson?
Yeah.
I think you'd like it. The musical.
Great.
Anything else you want to say? What do we have coming up this week?
I have no idea. No movies booked, that's for sure. Well, we're going to see Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, next weekend, Adrian and Patrick are going to see Lord of the Rings 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday.
Extended editions.
We're seeing the Scary Movie tonight in A Violent Nature.
We are seeing that. I'm sure we'll find something else to do between now and then.
Yeah. We're going to have a great week. We hope you do too.
I can't wait.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Let's Chat with Curry and Adrian. If you enjoyed the show, and we know you did, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review. Keep the conversation going by following me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Curry Terrell, and Adrian on Instagram at Adrian McMill, and Twitter at Yo Adrian McMill. Discover our weekly song picks by adding our playlist on Spotify or Apple Music, all linked in this week's episode description. Got questions or feedback? Email us at letschatwithcurry@gmail.com. See you next time. Bye, y'all.